the link with King Jammys now. So it really came from UK, from his brother, and then that's how you connected with Jammys in Jamaica?
Well, the first time I met with King Jammys, my mom and dad kept a street party. It was a jubilee.
Mm-hmm.
The first Queen Jubilee that was held in the UK. That I was present at, and the Jammys was in the UK at the time, and he came to the street party. That's when I believe I first met him. And it started from there, really.
Then you went down there, and then now you're the one cutting the dubs and stuff. And how was it now as a female in the trenches in Waterhouse? You're going in, cutting the dubs, rubbing shoulders with the mandem and stuff. How was that now for you?
You know what, Muscle? Amazing. It wasn't easy. The relationship that I formed with Jammys, it was like we was the UK Jammys. There was two sounds in the UK that Jammys took under his wings, and all his productions. First, the minute they recorded and they pressed, even sometime before they pressed, we would get them ourselves on a sound called Unity. So going to Jamaica and as a female, it was fascinating for a lot of the artists that I used to voice at the time. Many of Jammys, Admiral Bailey, Hugh Griffiths, Little John, Pliers, Beanie Man at his young days, Riska Benji. So many that I can mention. Colonel Josie Wells, Ninja Man. I formed a relationship with many of those. I remember one trip I went, Ninja turned up and he said, go get 6 black dub plate from Jammys. And he just filled them. You know, at the time you would have the vocal and then the rhythm, the flip side of the vocal. He filled the 6 dubs. So when it comes to artists like Ninja Man, for instance, we have crazy amount of tracks from him. Those are the kind of relationship that, you know, to go and voice as a female, it was unique. Oris Andy, all the veterans, Shabba. And I could keep naming names and sounds, and it got to the stage where I started to bring some of those artists to the UK to perform on V-Rocket, and would spend weeks, maybe in some cases months, working on the sound as a part of the DJs. If you've seen the documentary, you'll see that Lecturer became one of V-Rocket's DJs. One of the singers was Robert Lee. And I was responsible for bringing up quite a few of Jammys artists. We did a tour with King Jammys, where we brought the full crew up, Riska Benji, Gregory Peck, all of those artists. We brought them to all of the UK, and those dances, all the shows we had to lock people out. People just couldn't get in. So, you know, that's the relationship that we had with Jammys, and me cutting artists that was based around. And if you remember those days, artists used to hang out at the studios. Nowadays, you maybe have to call them up and you meet them at the studio. Those days, it was a hangout thing. So, you know, our DJs and singers used to be just sat round there. So you'd be trying to voice the plates, and you still have other artists singing and DJing because they want a piece of the action. So it was unique. It was something different.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.